You're back with Bobby and JJ Radio. We're talking all about 203K loans with Trevor Morton from Cachet Real Estate Finance. We just went over what a 203K loan is, but Trevor, tell us what the requirements are to qualify for a 203K loan.
So it's going to be the same requirements that FHA has, which is your standard minimum, typically 620 credit score. We have seen it lower dependent, but that's a good rule of thumb. Everything else is anything that you're going to see with FHA, including the 3.5% down payment, which is huge.
Tell us what is covered in the 203K loan.
The 203K loan is going to cover just about any renovation that's not structural. That's the best way that you can think about it. So it's going to take down the property, so it's going to purchase it from the old owner, and it's going to finance your renovations.
What's not covered?
Things that aren't covered, something we talked about right before the break, which was a pool. Any kind of solar panels you'd like to add to the house, it doesn't cover that. It's a lot easier to talk about the things it does cover, Bob, and that's painting, that's roofing, that's guttering, that's new appliances, new AC, flooring. As long as you're not doing a brand new addition or taking out any load-bearing walls, the 203K pretty much is going to cover it.
So it's more like bringing it back up to date or bringing it back to where somebody could live in it rather than upgrading it and making it like MTV Cribs.
That's exactly right, Bobby. Exactly right.
Or like upgrading the energy efficiency.
That's correct, Chantel. Okay. And you can actually finance up to 110% of the appraised value if you go with the energy efficient appliances, windows, doors, everything like that, which is a really, really cool.
Can you walk us through the process of someone getting a 203K loan?
Of course. You're going to find a property, which the amazing Trey Group comes in on that side.
Amazing.
You're going to figure out if that's a property for you, of course, and then you're going to move along and you're going to see what it's going to take and how much it's going to be to get this property renovated. So you're going to bring in your neighbors with Spencer, and he's going to tell you exactly what needs to go on, left, right, up, down, all around, and he's going to give you a number. From there, that's where we're really going to take over. We're going to qualify you for the loan in the first place, and then we're going to put that full package together. We're going to put down what the cost is, what the renovation cost is, fill out all the appropriate paperwork, which is a lot more than a standard purchase loan because there's a lot more moving parts in it. So everything goes on that side. You close on the loan. You're good to go. That's, of course, after it appraises, everything on that side. Then you're going to start. Within 30 days of closing on the loan, you must begin construction. And upon closing, it's actually going to fund half of the total amount that's going to cost you to build. So Spencer's going to be able to pay his subs, buy materials, do all that stuff, get it going. You have a 6-month timeline to be able to complete the full project. Upon completion of the project, everything looks good, signed off by you, signed off by your contractor. Everyone's happy. That's where they fund the remainder, 50% to the contractor, and you're good to go.
So a typical loan is normally 30 to 45 days. That's FHA conventional VA. FHA VA conventional. It's normally 30 to 45 days. You say there's all these extra steps. So what is a typical, like say we find a house right now, when should I put a closing date?
We can go on best case scenario here, and that's where I always like to go. You can make that 30 to 45 days. You want to work with motivated people. Yeah. You make sure you work with reputable contractors like Spencer. You want to make sure you're working all together with the client that's getting all the paperwork ready and you're engaged. Some of these things, if you don't have a full engagement by all parties, can be drug out a long time. I would suggest a minimal 45-day contract being signed up on that side. And I've seen it closed in 30, though. Everybody had their ducks in the row and they had it ready. Typically, your longest time period is going to be making sure your contractor's out there, getting your bid, and doing everything that you want to do.
And whoever sees this bid, is it viewed by any underwriters or who's okaying it?
It is. It's going to be FHA that's looking at it. And it's a line item by line item bid. So it's not just here's one number, this is what we're going to do. We're going to renovate for this much. It's this is the line item, this is how much it's going to cost to do this, and this. From there, that's where FHA is going to take a look at it, and they're going to say, okay, this is acceptable, this is, this may not be, but we can come back and say this is why it needs to be done and go that route.
But there's also a process with the contractor, right? There's qualifications that they have to meet before they can be an approved vendor.
There is, and that changes by geographic region because there's different laws in different places. But you're looking for.
So they don't want to use my Tío Beto, right? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, he might be good.
There was
but-
500 new contractors after the hailstorm or something.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, I
Just
bet.
overnight, so you can use all
So
those.
they just have to be licensed and
Your
reputable.
Tío Beto's not?
He has a driver's license. Does that count?
He built your house.
That's a big step. That's a big step for him.
They do have to be licensed, and they have to be able to carry a general liability policy. And that's the biggest thing I can stress as a lender, seeing what can be wrong with these transactions. It's not working with the right contractor and not knowing up front and setting proper expectations up front. That's why we have this handsome gentleman next to us who will provide all that.
I like it. I mean, I think it's something that I think anyone can, because there's houses out there that are perfectly for anyone that wants an older house, but just doesn't have the money to fix them up. So this is a definitely good option for somebody that wants to live in, say, Alamo Heights, but doesn't have the money to fix up a house.
Mm-hmm.
And to piggyback on that, and I know we're winding down here, but when you're buying some of these renovations in these areas that are really hot, especially in the San Antonio market, Dingawitty, Lone Star District, Blue Star District, a lot of these are lipstick on a pig jobs where they're coming in and they're covering up issues that probably should have been addressed, but they want to make more of a profit on it. This allows you to come in and make sure all those issues are addressed because you're hands-on all the way through.
Yeah, that makes
Awesome.
perfect sense.
Thank you so much, Trevor. Just let everybody know how they can get in contact with you for more information on this 203K loan or any kind of loan at Cachet Real Estate Finance.
You can contact me personally at 210-725-1685. That is my cell number. I'm available 24/7. Or you can look me up online at www.cachet.com.
Okay, we'll be right back.